two, and one. Hi, my name is Andrew, and welcome back to the Morning Hash, Chapter 2. I know this is just coming out much later. I've been thinking about actually flipping Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 around so that the brief news comes out first thing in the morning so you can just get it and go. And then I'll do the second chapter, or more of the story of the day, the hit piece, if you will. That's not a very good way to describe it, is it? Not really. Anyway, we're still playing with the format here, so I don't want to keep you because I kept you a long time on the first one. So let's jump right into the news of the day. Um, and thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's just go right in. We're gonna do. Hold on, I gotta make sure I get it right. It's news, it's health, it's sports, weather, entertainment, something fun, and then a nice little quote to go off and seize the day. All right, carpe diem, baby. All right, let's see here. Well, our news of the day is the economy of the United States of America, and of course, the economy is not doing really that well anywhere in the world. But this is brought. Look at this. The title of this website is the Economic Collapse Blog. Isn't that chipper? Um, the cost of living has become extremely oppressive, and 57% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency expense. Over half of us cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. And he goes on to, his opinion about the leaders and how inflation is, and we'll get to the inflation. Let's see here. According to Bankrate's annual emergency fund report, 68% of people are worried they wouldn't be able to cover their living expenses for just 1 month if they lost their primary source of income. And when push comes to shove, the majority, 57% of US adults, are currently unable to afford a $1,000 emergency expense. When broken down by generation, Gen Zers, 85%, and millennials, 79%, are more likely to be worried about covering an emergency expense. Folks, that is not good news. That is what happens when you go out and you just have a gender studies degree and expect to get paid six figures and drive a Maserati and have a sushi bar at your office. That's not the real world, people. That's not how it works. Okay. Um, Let's see. Nearly three quarters, or 72% of middle income families, say their earnings are falling behind the cost of living, up from 68% just 1 year ago. Emphasis mine. According to a separate report by Primerica, based on a survey of households with incomes between 30,000 and 100,000, a similar share, 74%, said they are unable to save for their future, up from 66% a year ago. And he says it right there. We haven't experienced anything like this in the United States for decades. Decades. It's just the inflation is out of control. They're printing money, printing money. Oh, and they're giving it away to the Ukraine, right? So they wanted to, fight a war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the average American person suffers. Okay. And I just went to the store this morning. I went to the store, everything's, I think eggs were, I went to Aldi. Eggs were just under $4. And that's at Aldi. So, yeah, the economy's not looking good. To continuing on that, existing home sales tumbled in December for 11th straight month, falling to the lowest level since 2010. U.S. existing home sales slowed for the 11th consecutive month in December as higher mortgage rates, surging inflation, and steep home prices sapped consumer demand from the housing market. I'll let you, and all these will be linked down in the description so you can peruse these at your leisure. But I was speaking to a realtor just the other day because we had been interested in maybe looking for a new house, but not with these rates. And he said he does not expect to see interest rates below 5% ever again. Now, we had been enjoying some really, really low rates, but they weren't realistic, were they? No, they were not. And now these rates are, I think the average rate now is in between like 6 and 7%. And with people who don't have $1,000 even for an emergency, where do you think the down payment's going to come from? Well, it's going to get subsidized, by the banks and the government and everything. And then we'll see another housing market crash. Isn't that great? So we'll move on from that. And The prices have not even peaked yet, says the CEO of one of the world's largest consumer good firms. For the last 18 months, we've seen extraordinary input cost pressure. It runs across petrochemical derived products, agricultural derived products, energy, transport, logistics. CEO Alan Jope tells CNBC. The CEO of Unilever, Unilever has a global footprint and owns brands including Ben& and Jerry's, Magnum, and Walls. We might be at the moment around peak inflation, but probably not peak prices. Okay. There's further pricing to come through, but the rate of price increases is probably peaking around now. It probably didn't help that they shut down the global economy with the whole COVID thing. We won't get into that right now, okay? Let's just keep on moving down the line. I want to make sure that I'm getting you out of here in a jiff, faster than my other videos. So one more thing on that. What is the current inflation rate? Current annual inflation for the 12 months ending December 2022 is 6.45%, and it peaked at 9.06%. There was something else I wanted to show you on this page. Where did it go? Where did it go? Um, Crap. I don't know. It says extremely right, hyperinflation, blah, blah, blah. Well, based on the rule of 72, if inflation is 7.2%, it will take roughly 10 years for prices to double. But with 8.20% inflation rate, prices will double in roughly 8.8 years. Okay. Imagine what it would be like to pay twice as much for everything just over 8 years from now. And like he asks here, will your salary double as well? Mine won't. Well, I don't think it will. If it did, that'd be great. And I wish the best for you too. I hope that all of your salaries double. Okay, so that's the brief news on the economy, real quick. Let's move on to health. Natural news reporting. Antidepressants linked to the rise in superbugs, a study finds. New research out of Australia has identified a link between antidepressant use and the spawning of deadly new superbugs. John Hao Go, a professor at the University of Queensland, Australia's Centre for Water and Environmental Biotechnology, and the study's lead author told Nature magazine that despite being a completely different class of drugs than antibiotics, antidepressants trigger the formation of superbugs that evade pharmaceutical treatments. Let's see. For 2 months, Go and his colleagues tested the bacteria's, E. coli's bacteria, susceptibility to 13 different antibiotics representing 6 different classes of drugs. All of them pushed E. coli to develop antibiotic resistance within that exposure window. The worst offenders were sertraline and duloxetine, which I've taken before, which generated the highest ratio of resistance bacterial cells to normal cells. And then it goes down, I believe it had the ones, oh, I'm looking right at it. I just skipped right over it. Published on January 23rd, the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The paper outlines Go and his colleagues' experiments on the bacteria E. coli, more commonly known as E. coli. They exposed the bacteria to 5 common antidepressants. So these are the ones that they exposed them to where it actually made it worse. Zoloft, Cymbalta, Wellbutrin, Lexapro, and Valdoxan. Okay? So the pills that they're giving you are making you worse. I wonder who makes some of those. Pfizer! Pfizer! Which leads us into this. The Joe Rogan experiment. From signofthetimes.net, DMT, the potent psychedelic in ayahuasca, treats depression after a single dose. Cutting edge clinical trial shows. Now, take this one with the caveat. Just up to 6 in 10 who received a single dose of DMT intravenously before therapy were declared depression free 3 months later. That's pretty good. How many people, who take Wellbutrin could say that? Hmm? And 3 in 10 participants were declared depression free 2 weeks after one session, compared to 1 in 10 in the placebo group who just had therapy on its own. And then it goes on and has your charts and whatnot. And again, this will all be down in the description. The links will be in the description. I've got one more on this coming from Johns Hopkins. So Johns Hopkins for the psychedelic and consciousness research is leading the way in exploring innovative treatments using psilocybin, which is the active compound found in magic mushrooms. I only know that because of Johns Hopkins. I've never taken magic. Anyway, psilocybin treatment for major depression effective for up to a year for most patients, study shows. So they've got that, and then they've got some research and its potential, the neuroscience of psychedelic drugs, music, and nostalgia. So there's really a lot of interesting things going on there. If you ever heard of microdosing is usually with the psilocybin. Am I saying that right? Magic mushrooms, where they grind them down and put them in a capsule and take them throughout the day, or maybe even once a day. But it's a very interesting study. I highly suggest that you check it out. Check out all of these. So what are we at here? We're on to 10 minutes. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm getting quicker on this. We are on to sports, I guess. Novak Djokovic wins his 10th Australian Open title. He's one of the best ever. Congratulations. He's kissing the trophy and whatnot. Let's go up to this is America, where we love the NFL. Let's see here. Today at 2 p.m. Central Time, the 49ers will be at the Eagles for the NFC Championship. And today at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on CBS, the Bengals will be playing the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. If I had to pick, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, and I'll go Eagles Chiefs. Eagles Chiefs the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And yeah, now I have these opened up, so I might as well go on to them. And you can research them. I won't touch on them too much. 4 out of 5 athletes who die suddenly had no symptoms or family history of heart disease. Okay. Now, this was on June 22nd, 2022. All right. It goes on to describe up to 4 out of 5 athletes who die suddenly had no symptoms or family history of heart disease, according to some new research. And it goes on, and that just repeated myself. Just so I bring that up to show this. Study finds athlete deaths are 1,700% higher than expected since COVID-19 vaccination began. Okay. Now it comes down here to this chart. This chart, the small one right here, 1966 to 2004, the monthly average was under 2.5. From January 2021 to April 2022, the monthly average is 42. Scroll down a little bit more. 1966 to 2004, 39 years, 1,101 deaths. 16 months, January of 2021 to April 2022, 673 since, the jab. I suggest you peruse these websites. This is real deal, folks. This is not something that we need to take lightly. That being said, let's move on to if I can get it. This is just a mess right now. Let's go on to the weather. I found something where I can just click on the day and it goes through the forecast. So check out your state where I'm at. It looks like a little wintry mix. Uh, let's move on, and you can see the weather moving throughout the country. Again, I'm not a weatherman, but I'm just doing this to show you where you might expect some weather. This is January 29th. That's 29th, 30th, 31st, February 1st. I almost said 32nd. February 1st, February 2nd, February 3rd, February 4th, and that's that. So I hope you were able to pick. This is actually, what is this? This is weatherstreet.com. So this is the national forecast under weatherstreet.com if you want to check it out. Moving on. I'm not a weatherman. Moving on. Entertainment. Bounding into comics, let's see. Original Blade star Steven Dorff blasts modern comic book films. They're making a bunch of money, but the movies suck. Yes, I have no argument. What else? Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista says he covered up his Manny Pacquiao tattoo because the boxer disapproves of same sex marriage. He turned out to be an extreme homophobe. Extreme. I think he was just, I think he was just telling people his religious beliefs, but whatever. Dave Bautista's, I don't think he's that bright of a guy. He's the same guy that tweeted out, if you need an AR-15, you're a piece of shit. So, whatever. Now, this is the one I really wanted to touch on. I'm getting out of control here. All right. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. All 30 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies ranked from worst to best. I'm only going to do the bottom five and the top five. This is bounding into comics still. Let's go here. Oh, we missed it. Okay. 30 Eternals. Haven't seen it. Heard terrible things. Thor, Love and Thunder. Haven't seen it. Heard terrible things. So I'm not going to give you my own review here. Okay. 28, Thor, The Dark World. Yeah, I saw it. Wasn't that good? Let's see. 27, Iron Man 2. This belongs way higher on the list. Iron Man 1 and 2 are real. Iron Man 1 is great. No, that doesn't belong there at 27. Let's see. 26, Thor. Boy, that's pretty bad. Yeah, so let's go to 25. And not the movie Thor. The movie Thor is good. To be this low, wow, that's what's 25. Iron Man 3. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Okay, now let's go all the way up. The blah 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 blah. Let's see, Avengers, Endgame, Ant Man. Let's see, Captain America. Okay, here we go. Ready? 6. The Avengers is at 6. Huh. Wonder what's gonna be. What's gonna be above this? 5. Spider Man: No Way Home. Uh, but that's not really the MCU because that's a Sony owned property. Marvel, like Disney, didn't make that. Anyway, Spider-Man: No Way Home, good movie. Captain America: Civil War, that's a great movie. That's one of my favorite superhero movies ever. Let's see. Wait, what did I miss? Did I miss? Yeah, no, nothing. 3. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. That's a damn good movie too. I don't know if I agree with all like the top five arrangement, but we'll see. 2, Iron Man, just chef's kiss. They got that suit so right. It was great. And number one, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Hmm. Don't know if I necessarily agree, but it's up there. It's up there. Okay, let's move on. Let's just move on from this. I'm keeping you guys way too long. Nice news. Pups in translation. Why dogs tilt their heads according to research. Just like who doesn't love dogs? If you don't love dogs, just get out. Just like us, dogs use body language to communicate. Their emotions are known to be seen via their tails, stances, and eyes. But what about those endearing head tilts they give when they're speaking to them? According to scientists, they may also be telling us something. Beyond looking cute, thus, head tilts can be a sign your dog is trying to listen. It's believed that dogs tilt their heads as a way to orient sounds. Dr. Reagan McGowan, an animal behavior scientist at Purina, told USA Today in July. They may be positioning their heads and ears in a way that helps them better determine where the sound is coming from. In other words, those tilted heads may be their way of saying, I'm all ears. Hey, puppy. You're a cute little feller. So read that too. Dogs are great. Let's see. Oh, here's Fish spends owner's money, reveals credit card info on YouTube stream. Oh my god. A Japanese YouTuber created a custom setup to allow his pet fish to play Pokemon on his Nintendo Switch, but a malfunction led to the fish spending money at the eShop and revealing its owner's credit card information on a live stream. Now, am I getting UPI? As far as I know, they're not like Babylon Bee. It goes on. The pet spent $4 of its owner's money to buy points, so it's not like he spent $40,000. But he gave out the card information. Fish aren't that bright, but neither is his owner apparently. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I am going to wrap it up with, let's see here. What do we got? This is one of my favorite. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I just keep it on screen? Untroubled, scornful, and outrageous. That is how wisdom wants us to be. She is a woman and never loves anyone but a warrior. I have always, always, always loved that quote. We'll do one or two more from Friedrich. Let's see here. Become who you are. Okay. And one more. Without music, life would be a mistake. Yeah, we need music in this world. We really do. All right, gang. That went 20 minutes again. I'm really going to have to figure something out here. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a little bit of information out of it. If you haven't already, click the like and the subscribe and the little bell notification and share this with a friend. I thank you so much for watching. I'm very grateful and blessed to have you with me here today on Sunday. Is it still in the morning? Just barely. 11:40 a.m. where I am. Sorry about the delay, but thank you so much for being here at the Morning Hash. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys. I don't know if I can stop it now.